Welcome all, or maybe it's just one person watching this video. Regardless, welcome. Here, I'll be sharing a beloved recipe of my grandma's, or my abu as we call her in Shanghainese. I'll be exploring how forces of imperialism and settler colonialism have shaped this recipe, and what could say for the better. So I was over at my grandmother's house for dinner one night, many years ago, when my abu called me into the kitchen. She declared that I was going to help her prepare one of the dishes, tomato egg. Creative name, I thought, but nevertheless, I got straight to work. A few eggs, and then we're gonna whisk it into a bowl with the only acceptable tool, of course. And then you're gonna dice large, ripe tomatoes. Then scramble the eggs over medium heat, and just before they're fully cooked, take them out. Put the chopped tomatoes in the pan, smush them around a bit, then add soy sauce, salt, and sesame oil to taste. Always make sure to taste test, she would tell me. And then the final ingredient, my abu went into the fridge and pulled out an all-familiar bright red bottle of Heinz ketchup. Ketchup? I remember being shocked. After all, ketchup is a very American Western thing. What place did that have in a very Chinese dish? She said, why not? She needs to add sugar anyways, and ketchup already has a tomato flavor. It's the perfect ingredient for this dish. So, like a good, obedient granddaughter, I put a couple tablespoons into the mix. Now give everything a good stir. Put the eggs back into your pot, and you have your tomato egg. Now, this really should be eaten with rice, but in typical college student fashion, a single piece of white bread was all I had, so that'll do. Now grab your chopsticks, of course the ones that you cooked with, sit down and enjoy your tomato egg or your fan pei chao dan. My abu's life was dictated by imperial forces. During the Chinese Civil War, her family fled to Hong Kong under threat of the communist regime. This was in 1951. In British colonial Hong Kong was where she learned both Cantonese and English so that she was able to immigrate to Canada to study. When I would make the dish for myself, I would omit the ketchup. It felt wrong for me to put such a Western ingredient into a dish of my Chinese heritage, I couldn't let them take the delicate Chinese flavors. However, I think back on this and I realize that the dish is still a part of my heritage, ketchup and all. After all, it came from my abu. She just made adjustments and additions where she saw fit. Now, I don't know when or where ketchup made its appearance in my abu's recipe for tomato egg. Maybe during her time growing up in British Hong Kong, or maybe during her adult years in colonial Canada. But what I do know is that its appearance in her recipe marks her as a colonial subject and shows the broader forces that imperialism has played on her life. When I reflect on the incredible life that my grandmother had, I think about her journey from Shanghai to Hong Kong to Ottawa and eventually to Vancouver, where she built up her family. Throughout this journey, she picked up many different cultures, languages, and yes, even ingredients. One of those being good old ketchup.